Hi, this is Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com, and this is the Motorola DROID 4 for Verizon Wireless. It's a 4G LTE Android smartphone. Features a 5-row QWERTY keyboard, and it's available now for $199.99 on a 2-year contract. Okay, so here's the DROID 4's box. We'll just open it up. Obviously, I got the phone right here. I'll start it up and take a look at what else comes in the box. Up front center is the AC charger with a USB port on it, and to go with that we have a USB to micro USB cable for you can use for both data and charging. Looks like a user guide, consumer warranty information, and that's about it. So here's the DROID 4 itself. It's a heavy device, weighs about 185 grams, about a 14.3 millimeters thick, and you can see the micro HDMI and micro USB ports on the side. Part of the reason for the bulk, of course, is that this fantastic 5-row QWERTY keyboard we have here. Edge-lit keys, they really look fantastic and they feel fantastic. Another reason, of course, is it has a relatively large display. It's a 4-inch display across the diagonal. QHD resolution, that's 540 by 960 pixels. And this is an LCD unit, so it's not quite as nice as the Super AMOLED units found on the DROID Razr and DROID Razr Max. Another reason for the relative bulk is the large battery. It's a 1785 milliamp hour battery. It is not user replaceable though, and you'll also notice that the back of the device is plastic, unlike the metal we saw on older Droids. The battery is good for about 8.5 days of standby time or 12.5 hours of talk time according to Motorola, but if you're using Verizon's 4G LTE network, you're obviously going to be burning through your battery a lot faster than you would just with a 3G device. And while the battery in the phone is not user replaceable, you can see it says do not attempt to remove it here, you do have to remove the plastic back cover in order to get to the micro SIM card slot as well as the micro SD memory card slot. No card included, but there's 16 gig of storage with about 11 available to the user pre-built in. Take a look at the controls. You can see up top we have the power and standby button next to the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right hand edge we've got the volume control right here. There's also an 8-megapixel camera with LED flash. The camera can record 1080p HD video. Forward-facing 1.3 megapixel camera in the upper right-hand corner can record 720p video. Does not have autofocus though. And as promised, here is the darkened room view of the keyboard with its edge lighting and backlighting. You can see it's really easy to see where the keys are. It truly looks fantastic. So here's the phone's home screen. See, we've got 5 panels to work with. You can also get a zoomed view by hitting the home button when you're already on the main home screen panel in the center. There's no pinch support or anything like that. Main menu here, it's horizontally scrolling pages. And when you long press on an item, instead of it immediately going to the home screen, it brings up a menu. You can add it to a group, which is basically kind of like a directory. You can add to the home screen, of course, and if it's a pre-installed application you can hide it. If it's not pre-installed, you can actually uninstall it right there from the main menu, which is pretty handy. There's also a quick link to the Android market in the upper right hand corner. This is the categories, which I said it was something like directories, or folders if you like to call them that. Good way to organize things. And if you were to mark anything as hidden, say let's mark VCast tones as hidden, there would be a new category that you could get to by seeing the hidden apps down here. The DROID 4 is powered by the same dual-core 1.2 GHz processor as the DROID Razr and Razr Max. This is the notification area. You see that Motorola gives you the ability to clear out individual notices just by tapping on them, or you can clear them all, of course. This is Smart Actions. It's one of Motorola's custom pieces of software that it adds to the device. What it does is it gives you automation options for the phone for taking care of simple tasks, like maybe turning off GPS when you get home, or turning off background data when you're sleeping at night, things like that. In this case, this is a low battery saver recommendation, and it says it'll turn off certain services when your battery gets low in order to keep the device going. I'm in the About Phone section of settings, just so you can see that we're running Android 2.3.6 Gingerbread. Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich has been promised for the first half of the year for this device, so we're looking forward to seeing that. You might notice that I've been using LTE through most of this video, even though I typically use Wi-Fi. It's because I find the Wi-Fi reception on this device to be a little bit on the weak side. It's, I'm a couple floors away from my Wi-Fi access point, and it's not normally a problem, but it has been a problem with this device. It does support 802.11 BG&N Wi-Fi though, and of course there's also Bluetooth support. In order to get to that text message up there, I'm actually going to go into the messaging application. Now you see we have a universal inbox. So in addition to email messages coming through, you can see that's a message sent to my AIM account. Here's the text message that we got. So I can pop in here and you can see the text messaging. Motorola includes its own multi-touch keyboard as well as swipe, so you can see it works. Now of course, if you're using a Droid 4, you're going to want to use the built-in keyboard. You can get things done quite well here. It really has a fantastic feel, and I'll show you what the keyboard looks like in the dark so you can get a better feel for what the edge lighting looks like. But suffice to say, this is the best keyboard I've used on a horizontal sliding device. We'll go back. You can see we're back in the universal inbox, and of course everything works in portrait as well as landscape mode, even the home screens. Jump back into messaging here. You can view individual inboxes, say just Gmail or AIM or text messaging, whatever, but the universal inbox is kind of handy to have. I'm going to jump into the email application here. This is a AIM account. So everything works pretty nicely. Here's a email message with an attachment, some formatted text. I'm going to open it up in the included document viewer. Perhaps more interesting though is I can use Moto Print to actually print the document. You should hear my printer go in the background. And now you can see that I just printed quite easily from the phone. The email application supports Gmail, Exchange, and POP and IMAP accounts, and most of the major web services like AIM, Yahoo, things like that. You have the ability to configure it a bit. Say we can change list view options, show the number of lines that you want to see, or the size of the fonts. For example, I can make the font very, very large. When I go into the message, you'll see that the fonts are quite large now. There are some swipe gestures here. You can configure them the way you want. So I'm going to swipe here to toggle read versus unread. And if I just want to get rid of this message, I can swipe right and delete it. In the Motorola email client, you get access to multi-touch zooming, which gives you even more control over the fonts. But if you switch over to Gmail, and I'm going to do that by long pressing the home button to get to recent apps, you'll find that you don't have multi-touch zooming support there. You do have some other features like threaded messaging though, and things you wouldn't get otherwise. And you have access to features such as a priority inbox, which shows just your most important messages, as well as things like starred folders. And here you can get an example of the message threading. You can see there's multiple messages here. Take a look at the calendar application because I think it's rather attractive. You can easily move around and switch views. Week view, or my preferred agenda view. Actually, everything works in landscape mode as well. This little widget up at the top of the screen is for your favorite contacts. Just drag it down to open it up, and back and forth. You can tap on one of the contact icons then to get access to, say, messaging, email, or the contact record, or to place a call directly. Go into contacts here so you can see what some of the information looks like. Unstar to take it out of your favorites. I'm going to jump to the phone app so you can see a regular list of favorites. Here's the full contact list with the little index tab along the bottom. You can search, create new, or manage groups as well. Recent calls, and here's the dialer. So let's see. You can dial just by using the letters on the keypad, and you can see I'm doing another man right there. I can place the call. And I can move around the phone while the call is in place, and you can see that the notification area is glowing green to indicate that I'm on a call, and I can directly end the call from there. The phone supports Verizon's visual voicemail as well. Jump into the music application. This is hooked up to my Google Music account. You can tap here to change the views and get to a cool 3D rendered look, which is pretty slick. Pull up the doors. And this song is actually stored on the cloud. It's not locally stored, but you can see how quickly it starts playing. Naturally, we have background music play. And let's see if we have any music controls on the lock screen. I don't think we do. No, we do not. In addition to this Google Music application, you can also use Motorola's own Motocast app to stream music, photos, and video directly from your home PC. I want to show you the camera. It's an 8 megapixel unit, but by default it shoots in a 6 megapixel format that is better suited for the widescreen display here. This is the full 8 megapixel resolution though. You see it automatically focuses as I move. Nice little beep telling you that you've gotten focus. Take the picture. It actually has a sound that sounds like a xenon flash, which is pretty kind of cool actually. Of course, it is a regular LED flash, and you have controls down here at the bottom. Go into settings, and you can see you can shoot, change the resolution, and change the resolution we're shooting for video. Also use the forward-facing camera if you like. You can see me there. And tapping down here, of course, switches to video mode. Right now it's configured in 1080p video. Now I'll shoot a little bit of video here, you can see it. White balance is being fooled just by these bright colors as I move around a bit. And go into the gallery, play that back. Take a look at some of the images. Nice sharp photos. Pretty good automatic macro mode. And just so you can see the difference between the 8 megapixel versus 6, notice the black bars on the edge of the display here with shot in 8 megapixel, and then when you shoot instead in 6, it's full screen. This is with flash and without flash. Motorola uses its own gallery application in the Droid 4. You can see here, I'll go into camera roll, and those are the photos we just shot. You also have access to any Motocast media you might have, and you have your full access to your library here. You can change the way it's sorted, timeline, if I had multiple days or tags and location, which is kind of cool, so you could see just the ones that were from your trip in California, say, versus shot around your home. And because we all know how important high-speed LTE data is on a device like this, you can see I ran speedtest.net's application. I had a reported 3 bars of signal, Managed over 8 megabits per second down and 2.8 megabits per second up, which is faster than I've been getting with the Droid Razr and Droid Razr Max in the same area. So that's my look at Motorola's Droid 4 for Verizon Wireless. It's a 4G LTE Android 2.3.6 smartphone. It's available now for $199.99 on a 2-year contract. For MobileBurn.com, I'm Michael Orrell. Thanks for watching.